Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing this bronzy, golden, glowy, just kind of like tan, warm, kind of glittery, sparkly, shimmery, just like golden goddess makeup tutorial. I'm actually so glad that I filmed this video because today I had a totally different agenda and just woke up and just felt like, you know what? I want to film. I want to film right now. I don't want to wait until Thursday or Friday. I want to film today. And I just got really inspired just to play with makeup and have fun and just create this just like really warm, bronzy look. I feel like I haven't done like a true bronzy look in a very long time. So in this video, I go in depth with the skin, the eyes, everything from beginning to end. I also talk about the body, how to bronze the body, how to get a glow on the body, how I highlight the body, all that jazz with tons of tips along the way. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. It gets me really excited for summer. Even though I hate the hot months, I still just love the idea. It's like, oh yes, like just hot beaming sun and tan skin. Even though I'm a vampire, I never even go outside. I'm still like, ooh, love that. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. And if you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I love you guys and enjoy. If you are looking to maximize your bronze moment and really take it there, and you feel like your skin is not tan enough for that moment and you wanna look really just like summery and sun-kissed and glowy and all that, you can of course achieve this look by being very fair. It does not matter your undertone. You can achieve a really bronze, beautiful look. But of course, having like that J-Lo glow is gonna make that moment even just like more extra and more amazing. I always use a sunless tanner, just one that I rub on myself at home, or I get spray tans. Either way, just rubbing it on yourself is so simple. There's so many different brands out there now. My favorite is still Loving Tan. I have a video all about this. No, this is not sponsored whatsoever. Loving Tan is not paying me to put this in my video and talk about it. I just wanna mention it to you guys because it is my absolute favorite, and I know there's so many sunless tanners out there, and I've had some really bad experiences with turning very orange, turning very green, and also having allergic reactions to some. And so that's why I really don't step out and try other ones, because Loving Tan is just amazing and works great. And they have two different ones, a 2-hour express, and then they have an ultra dark that you leave on for 8 hours. This one is insanely dark. It looks like you've been in the Caribbean for the past 10 days, like dark. The 2 hours is definitely a little bit more of just like a glow, which is what I'm wearing right now. I went from being extremely fair to what I have on going right now, which I will say in camera, I don't look as tan as I do in person, but this is just the 2-hour express that I used. First things first, as always, I'm going to prime my skin. I'm not gonna do anything out of the box, just keeping to the normal priming. I'm not gonna put on any like additional oils or shimmers or anything like that. I don't wanna get carried away, especially now that my skin is a little bit older than it used to be. When I was younger, I would throw on like a shimmering primer and then put shimmery oil in my foundation, and it would honestly look great. But now it's like I've got little fine lines and I've got little wrinkles, and I don't wanna bring attention to any of that stuff, or textures or pores. So we're just gonna stick to the normal routine. I have been using the Smashbox primer oil recently, and I absolutely love this product. But because I just washed my face and my skin already feels like really creamy, I don't want to put this on because it can sometimes be too much and then break up my foundation. I don't want it to be overboard. I'm gonna spray a little Fix Plus. This is by MAC Cosmetics, all over my face, just for additional moisture and prepping the skin. For foundation, I'm gonna go in with Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Golden Beige, and this is like my tan shade, this or Warm Beige. Sometimes I'll kind of mix them together, but they do both have a more golden undertone, and that's what I'm going for. Even if my skin was a little bit pinkier, there would be days where I would manipulate it and still do a golden base and just like drag it down, especially if I'm not exposing like all the skin on my body, just because that golden undertone just looks so beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take a beauty sponge. Any beauty sponge that you like will do the trick. This is my favorite way to apply my foundation for the past couple of years. I do still like a foundation brush, but I just don't feel like I get as much coverage, and I don't think the product sinks into my skin as well when I use a brush, where this just like emulsifies everything, and it's like skin and foundation just come together so beautifully with a sponge. I'm going to be using the Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist. Any dewy face mist will do this exact same job. There is one that's much less expensive by Pixi. It gave me little bumps all over my cheeks, so I personally cannot use it, but it'll do the exact same thing that this product does. So I am going to put one layer of this all over my face. Then I will go in with concealer, and then if I feel like I need more foundation, I will continue to go back with more. But we're gonna start off with just one nice thin layer and then go from there. And when I say thin, I mean very full coverage, but I just figured that you knew that. Now I'm gonna grab the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I know, right? Crazy that I'm using Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going in with the shade Medium, and I'm gonna put that directly underneath my eyes down towards my mouth, bring it up a little bit on the sides of the nose. That'll kind of help the nose contour that we'll be doing later. I'm gonna put it on my chin because I just love the coverage of this concealer and I feel like it looks so good on the skin, especially with this foundation. It's such a great combo. And just blend that out, getting right up into that eye area nice and tight. I'm gonna put that all over my eyelid as well because this is how I'm gonna prep my eyes. Now I'm gonna go in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. You guys, I have been using this palette for years to set my under eye and I have still not found anything that like is fully comparable to it. So what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of the lightest shade, a little bit of the yellow, mix them together on my sponge like that, and then I'm just going to lightly just dab right underneath the eye. And the reason I'm doing it so lightly is because I'll definitely go back with a little bit more powder later, and I don't want that under eye to look like crusty or like crepey. So I'm just gonna start off very, very light and then we can continue to build as we go on. So now I'm going to set my entire face and I'm going to do this in a very specific way. I'm going to be using the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I talk about it all the time, how much I love this powder because it is so sheer and it does not look dry on your skin whatsoever. So you can still get a really beautiful, glowy, dewy, natural looking face without completely matting it out. So the way I'm gonna set my face is again with the exact same beauty sponge I've been using the entire time, and I'm going to use a very light amount because I want to just honestly let this soak right into the skin and then go over it with the rest of my face. I do not want to fully mattify myself. I do not want to make this look like chalkboard. So we're just going to use like just this amount for like the entire side of our face. I always make sure that I get up right along the side of my nose nice and tight with this powder so that we don't get all those little creases by our nostrils throughout the day. I like to set my nose pretty generously no matter what because I don't like a shiny nose personally. I want to keep it as matte as possible, and then I'll add a little of my own highlight at the end, specifically where I want it in targeted areas, but overall matte. So something that I always do after I set my face and I'm about to go in with my bronzer or contour, I always kind of feel this area because if this area, see this side is still a little sticky right here. So I'm gonna go back in with just a little bit more, tap that off, a little bit more just right there in that specific area, because if I go in with a big brush and bronzer or contour and try to blend out a powder and it's still sticky, it's gonna be choppy. So just to make sure that it blends just like beautifully and evenly, it's making sure that those areas aren't sticky, you'll be good to go. So before moving on and doing anything else, I'm actually gonna do my brows first. I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Brow Definer today in the shade Soft Brown. And I know I see you guys asking me for an in-depth brow tutorial. Don't worry, it will be coming soon. I'm just honestly, I've been putting it off because I just feel like my brows really could be better right now. And I'm trying to like experiment with new products and new techniques and new ways because I don't want to make a video that I'm not proud of. So that's why I kind of just like skip through it because I'm like, it's kind of boring. And then when I'm ready and I really find a place where I'm like, hell yeah, this is my brow routine, that's when I'll make an in-depth video. Okay, I tried something new with my brows today and I don't hate it. It was actually really fast and really easy, and I just incorporated this Anastasia Dip Brow, which it's a pomade. I used it back in the day when it first launched and hated it, but I also think that's because I was so heavy-handed. Oh, it was a bad situation, but I used it very, very lightly today and I actually really like the way it looks. Now I'm going to bronze my face. I am not going to contour my face right now. I am just bronzing. And so to do that, I'm gonna go in with this Morphe bronzer in the shade Icon. This is my current color. It's a really beautiful, like caramely, rich bronze, but it's not red, which I love because I feel like so many bronzers are so red out there and that's not my journey. So using a big fluffy brush, I'm going to just go ahead and put this all over the cheek area, starting up by my ear, kind of swooping it down. I don't want to bring it too high by the eye area and I don't want to bring it too low by the jaw. So as you can see, I'm just creating that nice shadow right in here. And because I went in and added a little bit more translucent powder right there, my face is not sticky. Therefore, the bronzer is going on really smooth and easy. We're gonna go up here by the hairline. And I'm gonna kind of bring this just like all over the forehead, honestly, because as of right now, I'm not bringing any light or attention to the forehead. I can add later, but I'm just gonna bronze this whole bitch up. I'm gonna take that same bronzer and I'm gonna put it on my nose, and I'm not actually gonna be like contouring with this. I'm using a big fluffy brush. I'm just gonna be warming up my nose with this. And this is something that Lipstick Nick taught me when she first started doing my makeup, because sometimes you don't really want like a super contoured nose. Sometimes you just want it to look part of the vibe, but not like snatched, you know? So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. Bring it along the sides, up to the brow, just so that it kind of blends in and matches the rest of my face. We don't just have like this beak chilling right there in the center. I'm gonna take that same bronzer, I'm gonna put it underneath my lower lip, bring it all the way over to the edge. This is just gonna help your lower lip to look much fuller and poutier. When we apply the lipstick, you really won't even notice it. It's just gonna create a shadow. Okay, so we're gonna come back to the face. We are not fully done with that by any means, but we're gonna move on to the eyes for now. I'm gonna grab the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Lavender right here. It looks like this. I cannot stand the smell of this stuff, you guys. Like, every time I pull it out, it kills me, but it's really beautiful. I am just going to put this underneath my entire eye area to kind of bake the situation, but also to catch any fallout from what we're about to do on the eyelids. Okay, so same exact bronzing powder, same exact brush as I used for my nose. This is an R40 by Morphe. I'm going to just put this in the entire crease of my eye, starting from outer corner to inner corner. And honestly, with a look like this, when we're doing something super bronzy, I'm really not precise. I feel like this is a look that I could kind of do in the dark. Nothing is gonna be like perfect. It's gonna be just kind of like messy, slap it on, use your fingers, get that bronze shimmer on there, and it's just gonna look beautiful. So I'm not too worried about like this kind of going over the edges or getting sloppy or going into my inner corner. Like, just live your life and bronze your bitch ass up. Now I'm gonna go in with my original palette. I'm gonna grab the shade Pukey right here. So the one thing that I wanna say about this look is that we want it to be warm and bronzy, but we don't want it to be orange. We don't want it to be red. We don't wanna take it too far into the warm family. We wanna kind of keep it a little bit more muted and actually brown, just like caramely browns. So that's why I love the shade Pukey, because it is super warm, as you can see right there on my brush, but it is not red. I'm gonna take that and just put it right there, again, in the crease of the eye over top of that bronzer. I'm gonna grab Ring the Alarm, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Mugshot right here, which again is a brown, but it is not too red. I was going through tons of different palettes because I'm like, I don't wanna use like my products only. Like, I wanna switch it up. So I went through several different eyeshadow palettes, and I swear, everything that I could find was either like too much of a muted brown, too coolish, too grayish, too reddish, and I really was having a hard time finding like those in-between colors. So that's why I'm using what I created and what I love. The shade Mugshot, which is like a darker version of Pukey. Again, very warm, very caramely, but not red. And I'm just gonna put this right over top of that, and this will be our last color before we go in with shimmer. I'm gonna go with a clean brush just over the edges, just to make sure that nothing harsh is happening. Everything is nice and smooth and gentle. For the lid, I'm going to go in with this beautiful product by Natasha Denona, and this is referred to as a Chroma Crystal top coat. So I guess she's saying it's supposed to go over top of your eyeshadow. I use it just solo dolo. Sometimes I'll put on a shimmery color on my lid and then pop this over top. And it's like totally crumbled and keeps falling out of the jar. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab that. Actually, no, I'm gonna spray my brush first. This product needs a wet brush. So I'm gonna spray a generous amount of Fix Plus on there, then go in and start picking that up. Then I'm going to just start tapping this all over the lid. And you can see this color is so beautiful. It is like the prettiest bronze with gold shimmer in it. And I'm going to just bring that up. I don't want it to sit too low on my lid. So like, make sure that you bring it up, not super high, but all the way to the crease of that eye, because I really want the shadows that we applied together to really like become one with the shimmer. Bringing it all the way over on the entire lid, not just the inner corner, but the whole entire thing. Oh, it's so freaking pretty. Are you kidding me? Another way that you can apply this is just using your fingers. It's kind of hard for me to do that though, because my nails are so long that I can't really get my finger in there because I've used this product so much already that it's like got a big dip in it. So this next step is something that totally does not need to be done, but I'm just gonna do it because I just want to. Why not? I'm gonna grab the shade Meeks from my palette right here, which is a small little blending brush like that guy. And then I'm just gonna go right here in that in-between section where that shimmer meets the matte and just kind of mesh them together even more, just to really make it that shimmer just like pop and just flow up beautifully. Oh yeah, I love that. And I never bring shimmer up that high, but I just feel like with this look, it just works. Like, just shimmer it up. Like, let's just be a bronze goddess. I love it. So I'm actually gonna pop on a little bit of glitter up there because why not? So I'm gonna go in with the MAC Cosmetics Loose Glitter in the shade Gold. This is one of my favorite gold glitters ever because it's just so finely milled and it's just like itty bitty little specks of the most perfect gold glitter. It's just perfect gold. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Lit Cosmetics Clear Liquid Glitter Base. This is something that every glitter lover needs in their collection. It's so incredible. I just take it and I drop a little bit of it into the cap like that. I take the exact same brush I've been working with the entire time, kind of get it a little wet in there. And I'm just gonna take that wet brush and then just dab on the lid. I don't want it to be too soaked though, otherwise it may make the makeup crease a little bit, but oh my gosh, just, sorry, I get so excited over bronze eyes, I can't take it. Okay, I'm gonna look down, let that get a little tacky, and then I'm going to just take same brush, dip into the glitter right there that's in the cap of the pigment, and then just lightly add a little something, something. Oh yes, absolutely. Bring that up a little bit. I don't want to keep it too low on the lid. Let's show off this sparkle. Oh, so beautiful. Now I'm gonna take a brush, I'm gonna wipe off this bake. And you guys are gonna see that this made my under eyes very, very light, but we can of course tone it down however much we want. Holy crap, this powder is insane for baking. Like, whew. I'm gonna take the same sponge I've been using all day. I'm gonna spray it with some Fix Plus, let it dry out just a little bit. I'll kind of like tap it on my hand. I don't want it to be soaked. Then I'm gonna go onto my under eye with the sponge and just press in so that nothing under here gets crepey or dry and still looks really natural and beautiful and skin-like, because after having a powder as intense as Riri's, you can definitely kind of get crepey sometimes. All right, I'm gonna take the Kylie Cosmetics Loose Highlight in the shade Fiji right here and just a little small brush. I'm gonna use this to highlight my brow bone really quickly. The shade Fiji has like a warm undertone to it, kind of like a goldy bronze, as opposed to Santorini, which I also love, is very white and like silver base. So I'm gonna be using the bronzy one for this. You can see how intense this highlight is with just like one little itty bitty drag of it. I'm gonna go back in with the shade Pukey right here, and we are gonna put that on the under eye using a fluffy-ish type brush. I'm just going to drag that along. I shouldn't say drag, because I'm not dragging. I'm blending, I'm buffing, I'm living, I'm learning. Now I'm gonna go back in with Mugshot, the exact same colors that I used on my upper lid. I'm gonna be using them on my lower as well. And now I'm going in with a much more definer, precise brush, and I am just going to push that right along my lash line and bring it to the inner corner. And then I'm gonna go in with same fluffy brush and just blend that out. This is just gonna help give us an ombre effect and just make that lower lash line look really smooth, blended and buffed out. Okay, now on the same palette, I'm gonna go in with the darkest brown, which is the shade Secret. This is a really warm caramely brown. And I'm gonna put that really tight on my lower lash. So for my lower lash, I could definitely put a black liner on my waterline and really make this just like smoky, but I don't want to take it to that place where it's like this black intense eye. I want it to feel a little bit more like lighter and like effortless, if you will, where like the black smoky eye, like when you bring in black on your waterline, it definitely feels a little bit more like sexy, nighttime, mysterious, which is not fully what I'm going for. So I'm gonna be using the shade Teddy. This is by MAC, and this is just a brown shade. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, and I'm gonna put that on my waterline instead. I'm gonna put on some mascara so that I can throw some false lashes on. I'm gonna try out the Batty Bee lashes in the style Sugar Baby. They look pretty intense, and I have not tried them before, so we'll see what happens. If I hate them, I'll rip them off, but let's try something new. I just realized I have not highlighted my inner corner yet, so before I put on my lashes and while my lash glue is drying, I'm gonna go ahead and take some Anastasia So Hollywood highlight right here, and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner pretty generously, stamping over it the same spot over and over, and then just kind of bringing it out towards the nose. So it's like a bing on that inner corner. What a difference lashes make. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna brighten up that inner corner even a little bit more. I'm nervous that this highlight might be a little too white, but we're gonna try it out. This is Cookie by Benefit. I just wanna make it a little bit more intense. Since we are going bronze, I don't want anything that's too white and like vanilla based or silver based on the face. I want everything to have like a goldy bronzy undertone. So now we're gonna go back to the face for a minute, and instead of baking today, I am going to be using a different technique. I'm gonna grab some of my Charlotte Tilbury powder. This is in the shade number 2, something that's just about the same color as your skin tone if you want a little bit lighter, but not too light. And using the same sponge that I've used the entire time, I'm going to press this into the jaw up towards the contour, basically exactly where I would put that bake, and just kind of carve out and clean up the jaw area so that it looks a little bit more put together, but still super bronzy. Then I'm gonna go back in with the Kat Von D palette. I'm gonna grab that yellow shade. I'm gonna put that right in between my eyebrows in the center of my forehead, and then just blend that out. I'm gonna put that on my chin, a little on the upper lip, and also the center of the nose. And then, of course, blend it all out. All we're doing right now is just adding a little bit of dimension to the face so that things don't look flat and you just really get that like diva vibe with your makeup. Now we're gonna move on to blush. And for blush, we're gonna keep it really warm and bronze-like. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Gingerly right here by MAC Cosmetics. I just built a few new blush palettes, and there's just something so exciting about customizing a blush palette for yourself and just like creating, oh, so good. All right, so I'm gonna take a generous amount of Gingerly, and I'm just going to put it on the apples and then bring it up towards the temple and blend it into that bronzer. Never enough, never enough. That song comes to my mind every single time I apply my blush and my highlight. Okay, so before we finish off the face, I'm going to go ahead and just spray my entire face with some setting spray. I don't have on any mascara yet on my bottom lashes, and I did that intentionally. That way I could look down and not crease my eyeshadow, because if I had on bottom mascara right now, I couldn't look down because I would get it all over my cheeks. So now, as I'm letting this dry, I'm also going to spray a little bit of the Farsali Rose Gold one as well. This is the Rose Gold Skin Mist with 24 karat gold in it. And this one is definitely a much more dewy spray. I'm gonna hit that especially on my cheeks. And we're doing this all before our highlight. All right, I'm gonna go back in with my damp beauty sponge and just press around to make sure that everything is looking good for highlight. All of those powders have just kind of melted into the skin. My nose is looking a little too dewy for my preference, so we're just gonna tap that out a little bit. Okay, so for highlight, I know that it's gonna sound weird to say this, like to hear this, but I actually don't want like a really, really, really intense blinding highlight. I'm gonna apply this very, very softly, and then if I have to like blend it out, I will. But I'm gonna go in with the same highlight that I use on my brow bone by Kylie Cosmetics in the shade Fiji. I'm gonna just tap that right there in the center of the cap, and then I'm gonna just, do you see how intense this is though? It's like, holy moly. I'm gonna put it more so on the apples of my cheeks today because I just kind of want to have like that beached bronze, just like, oh, I just like got done sweating in the sun. I'm gonna keep it more predominantly on the center of the cheek and then lightly blend it out on that cheekbone. Oh gosh, highlight just adds something so spectacular to every look. It's just, oh, yes. I mean, that's not a super intense highlight, right? I'm keeping it casual, right? Am I doing good? I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna put a little bit on my chin. I'm gonna put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Even though this will probably get covered up when I line my lips, but still, just for good measure, a little on Cupid's bow. I did not pick up any fresh product on my brush. I'm just gonna slightly go over the forehead with whatever is left on there, but I'm not just gonna leave everything like this. I'm going to go back in with my beauty sponge and gently go over everything to make it all come together a little bit better. Tapping over this, especially up high, just to make that blend into the skin. Oh my gosh, I started off with such good intentions of having such a soft highlight, and then this happened. Oh my god, I almost forgot my nose highlight. That would be a catastrophe. All right, I'm gonna put some mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, now I'm gonna line my lips with a MAC lip pencil in the shade Strip Down. I'm just gonna stick to what I know and use Jeffree Star Mannequin Liquid Lipstick. I would love to use Celebrity Skin, but I cannot find it anywhere right now. It's definitely gonna be pinkier, but I'm okay with that because we're gonna warm it up. Now I'm just gonna go back in with Strip Down and go over the edges just to kind of bring a little bit of dimension to the lip. Okay, and then we're gonna top it off with a little dose of Colors Can You Not lip gloss. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to the body because when I do a look that's this bronze and glowy and highlighted, I feel like I cannot neglect my shoulders, my neck, my décolleté, my chest, especially if I'm wearing something open like this, it just feels like incomplete to me. You gotta bring the glam down. So I'm gonna show you what I do in my routine. You have tons of different options when it comes to making the body glowy. You can use a liquid highlight. You can mix a liquid highlight. This one right here, this is by MAC Cosmetics. It's called Hyper Real Foundation. You can mix something like this into a foundation, put it all over the body. You can put it by itself, all over the body. There's also things like this, which is by Vita Liberata. This is called Body Blur, and it's basically like face tune in a bottle. It just like blurs your skin out, but it does have a color in it. If it doesn't match your skin tone pretty well, then you're gonna run into some issues because it'll start to look a little streaky and whatnot. But if it's near your skin tone, it is amazing. Also for my legs, I love using something like this. This is the Sally Hansen Airbrush Legs, and it comes in all different shades. Just like spray it on your legs, just smooth it all over the place. And if you have anything that needs to be covered, that'll cover it. Bruises, even cellulite. It just helps smooth everything out and make your legs look so glam. It will rub off though. Like if you get onto like a white couch and just sit down, it won't come off. But if you sit down and start like moving your legs on it, like back and forth, it's gonna come off. It's like water resistant, but not waterproof necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is use the exact same foundation I use on my face in the exact same color. This is Too Faced Born This Way Golden Beige. And I'm gonna grab a foundation brush. Let me find one. Just a regular foundation brush just like this. And I'm going to just put it directly on there. You can even take it, put dots on your chest, however you feel comfortable. And then I'm literally going to paint this area. Now, if it's not the same color as your chest, it's gonna look a little weird. You're gonna have way more issues blending it out because obviously, like if you're wearing something that like shows your back, you're gonna have to put foundation on your back. That's dramatic, right? So I would say match your skin. That way it blends out beautifully and it looks natural. So that's why I use the exact same color as my foundation on my face. I bring it down to whatever is showing. So if I'm wearing this top right here, I'm gonna pull it down. I'm gonna bring it down like on the top of my boob and cover everything. I also would suggest that you do this in like a bathrobe or something that you don't mind getting foundation on. This is leather, so if I get foundation on, I can just literally wipe it off, but I never do this in my actual outfit because chances are you're gonna get it on your actual clothes while you're trying to apply it. So just do it naked or in a bathrobe or something like that. So now that that's done, I'm gonna grab the same brush from earlier and the exact same Kylie Cosmetics loose highlighter that we've been working with this entire time, just so everything is cohesive. It just looks even out. I'm gonna start with my collarbones. So I just kind of like bring my collarbones forward. It's like kind of creepy. When I was really skinny, my collarbones used to stick out like this naturally, but not no mo. And I'm just going to run that highlight up and down my collarbone. So you can just like see that little gentle pop. Oh yes, so feminine. And you can see the difference of how this makes this side just look so much more like romantic, where this side just looks like meh already, and we're not even done. I'm gonna take that same color and put it on the shoulders. This is like so important to me. If my shoulders are out and they're not highlighted, I'm like, oh, how embarrassing. I'll take that highlight, I'll run it down like this. Sometimes I'll grab a bigger brush than this too. I'll grab something like this guy if I wanna get crazy and just like hit my shoulder like boom, just to really make it pop and make it happen quick. I'll take a little bit of that highlight and I'll put it up here at like the top of my boob area. I don't really have much cleavage happening right now, so it's not gonna really stand out as much. If you are showing more boob than this, then you can really take it there and make those babies pop, but I'm just gonna put a little bit up there for now, just for something, you know? I'm gonna put a little in the center of my chest, and then I'm going to go in and blend that out with the foundation brush because I don't want it to be too prominent, but I want a little bit. And then something that I will do that I actually learned on set is to take a shine spray for your hair. So this is by Way, and this says that it's hair and body shine mist. I actually haven't even used this one yet. I just got it in the mail and was just like super excited to try it. But a really amazing one is by Bedhead, and it's in like the pink can with like a green top, and it's a hair shine spray, and you spray it on your body and it is just like amazing. And it's gonna be way cheaper than buying an actual like body mist because just for marketing purposes, they're gonna like jack up the price. So a hair shine spray works perfectly, but I'm gonna try this one for the first time. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh. I'll even take some of like the rose gold mist. I'm just doing this because I'm getting excited and extra. This is not even necessary. And just spray that too, just so that everything just starts coming together. And now my face is matching my body. And last but not least, I will always throw on some jewelry. I think the jewelry just, compliments anyone, any time of the day, morning, noon, or night. Doesn't matter if you're wearing makeup or not makeup. I am just a jewelry fanatic, and especially when I have on like a really bronzy vibe like this, I love gold jewelry. I think that it just brings such an extra like wow to the overall situation. So I'll slap on some gold jewelry and be right back. What a difference a little jewelry and a little hair can make. It's like a whole new person. The gold like just brings this whole bronze, warm tone, just like yummy summer vibe all together. You know, just like a gold little moment. So that is it, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Maybe you picked up a few tips and tricks that you can use when you feel like turning yourself into a bronze goddess, having a little bronze moment. And remember, even if it's not summer, you can still continue to do bronzy, warm, yummy tan looks. So whatever you wanna do, just do it and live your best. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye. I look completely naked. With my hair, I look like a naked wildebeest. Like you just like found me out like in the jungle by myself, just like, my hair just is not cooperating with me. This isn't my vibe. This isn't what I want. It needs to be down. It just needs to figure it the out. Jaclyn, your hair. Amazing, now for the intro. For today's video, I'm going to be doing, I really suck at this. My dog, Georgie, every single time I turn on this camera, has to start snoring. He's such an attention whore. He gets it from his mama. I don't mean going out and paying for an actual spray tan or like taking the time to do that. I kind of feel like I have a mullet right now. A little bit. So now I'm gonna just take, I'm gonna say, come here, little bitch. Maybe picked up some little tips and tricks that you can use along the way when you feel like, bitch, dear God. Okay,